Hello, hello. This is Jessica Gerlach, certified personal trainer and author of the book You Don't Make Friends with Salad. And you're listening to the 5 Foot Strong podcast, the show that we will do a deep dive into our personal strengths, discover what makes you strong, and talk about our physical and mental health journeys. Whether you are 5 feet tall like myself or 5'11", we are all 5 foot strong in our own unique and beautiful ways. So please take a big deep breath in, get comfortable, and let's do this. Hello, hello, and welcome back to the 5 Foot Strong podcast. I am your host, Jessica Gerlach, and on today's episode, I have a fellow member of the very exclusive 100-Pound Weight Loss Club. My guest today, Risa Weiner, has lost over 130 pounds and has been able to keep it off for over 12 years by adopting a healthy lifestyle. She now inspires and motivates others on social media by providing her day-to-day workouts, healthy recipes, and personal inspiration. Today, we are going to talk about all things weight loss, and I'm so excited to learn more about her journey. So without further ado, I would love to welcome to the 5 Foot Strong podcast, Risa Weiner. Hello, Risa. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Jessica. I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you so much. So I'm going to ask the question that I'm going to ask everybody that comes on the podcast. So what does the adjective of being strong mean to you?
Well, like you're 5 foot strong, but I'm 5'4" strong. And I feel like, it started from my mother. My mother's been the best role model. She's 94 years old. She's always been positive. She taught me that, I have to set boundaries and never let people walk all over me. So, having a mother like that who's always encouraged, been my best cheerleader, supported me, but she empowered me. And over the years, with all the choices that I've had to make, I've had to empower myself. And I feel like I've developed over many years better self-confidence, self-esteem. I've challenged myself with new goals and intentions and changed my habits, learning from my mistakes, knowing when to ask for help and support because you can't do it alone.
100%.
Keep moving forward and never giving up, making myself a priority because, when life gets tough, you have to know that you have to be there for yourself first, because then you can't help other people. I just, knowing like you've said, your self-worth and believing in myself.
That's strength right there. So I want to hear all about your weight loss journey. What you just talked about, that self-confidence, that self-love. Let's start, why did you start your weight loss journey?
Started at a really early age because I reflect back and I think about at age 8, believe it or not, my doctor said to my mother, don't give Risa chocolate milk. Or when I went to camp and my relatives would say, oh, she's got such a beautiful face and look how great she looks when she comes back, from camp. She's lost weight. And that really took a toll on my health, and my body image and my self-worth as a child, and I was not a heavy child. I just thought I was. So that really impacted my health journey. My mother never, ever made me feel bad, but I had sisters who had weight issues. I watched my mother go on Weight Watchers, over the years. And it didn't actually start happening where I gained weight until I was a lot older. But it was just how I felt. And, people making comments that really, really resonated, later on, which I never realized until you're much older, how much that impacted my journey. I ended up working, my background is counseling. I'm a social service worker, and I worked in a group home
Yeah.
in my early 20s, and working shift work and working with disturbed teens, 14 to 21, really took a toll on me. And I put on 100 pounds during that time. It was
Wow.
over a 10-year period. Yeah. And I gained weight. I ended up having a hiatus hernia. I couldn't go up and down stairs. I felt embarrassed. I had to shop at the big girl stores. I avoided going to parties, and all the while, I had met my husband, who loved me no matter how I was, because I was always very bubbly. I hid it well. You know what I mean? Like, I hid
Yeah,
how I
I
really
do.
felt about
Yeah.
myself. Yeah. And and I thought to myself, like, I went to my doctor, and I thought, I've got to get out of this situation, because also I was living on my own, which meant that I had nobody to control. Not that my mother was so controlling, but she really watched me a lot, and when I was living on my own, guess what? I could drive through drive-throughs at night, and I could pick up whatever I wanted. And I was eating because, I would eat with the girls at like 5 o'clock, come home. It was midnight, and then I'd be eating again. So the weight just kept piling on, and I felt worse and worse and worse. And then I realized, like I said, I needed to get out of that job. And I took a 3-month leave,
Mhm.
and and my doctor encouraged that, and I found a job with the Toronto District School Board.
Amazing.
And yeah, and so then I started to lose weight on my own.
Mhm.
I just did things that I thought, and 60 pounds had come off, but like, anything else, I started to plateau,
Mhm.
and I didn't know what else to do. But I really enjoyed working days, working, and I had worked at this one school, and then ended up, I wanted to have my daughter. So I had lost that weight. But then after I had her, the weight wasn't coming off. And I remember going specifically to my sister-in-law's cottage, and oh my God, I hurt my knees so bad
Mhm.
going up these hills. Anyways, I went to the doctor, and they said to me, for every 10 pounds you lose, it's like 30 pounds off your knees. I went, whoa. And that was my aha moment. It was like, I felt so horrible. Even though I'd lost 60 pounds, I was still over 200 pounds. And at my heaviest, Jessica, I was 288.
Wow. Yeah.
So yeah, and I don't tell too many people, but now the whole world knows.
You know what? You should be
I was,
proud of it though. Like you've
yes,
come so far.
yes. So, I mean, and now I share it with the world, because, like you, I have that passion and the drive to help other people. Um, so I joined WW Weight Watchers at the time, and great. It took me about a year, because a half a pound to a pound, slow and steady, went through that. I kept it off. I still kept the weight off, but then it started creeping up again. And then I did intermittent fasting, and I lost another 30 pounds. Um, but again, when you lose weight fast, I mean, with Weight Watchers, I did keep it off for a long time. And, everybody has to find the right program for them. At the time, I felt it was the right program for me. And then, after 4 years of intermittent, like, I was getting hungry. And so I started eating again.
Yeah.
The worst thing for me was, and what I've realized, and I've learned so much. I always say I may not be an expert, but I have so many years of experience that, and I'm always learning, and I love to learn, because that fuels me to understand that weight loss is huge. Weight loss is more than exercising and eating less. right?
Yeah.
It has to do with our sleep, and it has to do with our stress, and it has to do with our mindset and how we cope and being there for ourselves. And so my sister-in-law told me about a program because she saw that I was feeling, crappy again.
Yeah.
Also my mother got very sick last year. So I was going through a
Yeah.
lot. And, like anything else, we use the excuse of, when we're not feeling good or stressed, what comforts us?
Food.
Right. But
Yeah.
I have to just backtrack a little bit because I've always loved to exercise. I didn't join a gym because I I didn't have the confidence back then.
Yeah.
I bought a treadmill. I did always exercise. I love being in nature and walking. I would
Beautiful.
go to the local community center and swim. I love kayaking, when I'd go up to my sister-in-law's cottage or up to my friends in Wasaga, and, I loved all of that. Um, so I just want to mention that during that whole time of losing weight, I did implement, and at home,
Yeah.
I have my air climber that I bought, my weighted and non-weighted adult hula hoop,
Beautiful.
um, which I love because when I'm like I'm feeling anxious or whatever, I watch TV and I get on my air climber or I do my hula hoop, and I figure out that's a 2-for-1. I can get some
It's
steps in,
amazing. Yeah.
and also, I bought a Fitbit years ago, so
I
and
wear
that
one
helps.
too. Yeah. I
Yeah,
wear
and I
one. Yeah.
love that. I
Yeah.
love it. And when I forget it, it's like, oh crap, but like I still say,
But it's that
you
sense
have
of
to do it.
accountability. It's
Correct.
accountability to yourself.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So my sister-in-law told me about this program, Gina Libby,
Mhm.
and she has all these people on like you're having. I've learned so much from the community about myself that I never understood before about the scale. That
Mhm.
scale, I had a bad relationship with that scale. And now I have Betty and Veronica. I have two scales that I weigh myself every day. I never believed in that because at Weight Watchers, you weigh yourself once a week.
Mhm.
What I never understood was that, God forbid you gained a pound or whatever it was, and you felt so much shame and embarrassment that it could have been from the night before
A
because you
hundred
didn't
percent.
sleep well. You didn't, you ate salty food. Maybe you drank lots of water that morning, for so many reasons that I never understood how the scale is a tool,
Mhm.
right? It doesn't define us, but that it's a tool that has helped me understand that it's all the week during the week of or and weeks of what you've done. And it used to put me, Jessica, in the worst mood. When I go,
I do
my
that.
husband was like going, you're not going to get weighed in today, are you? Because it would affect my mood, put me in the worst mood if I didn't lose. And and
But
now
that's a
awful.
bad relationship with the
Oh,
scale that unfortunately a lot of people have.
you're right, exactly. And until like I had that aha moment of understanding that my weight, and now I track it. I'm on a special tracker that I can see as soon as I lose weight, it's gonna go up. Like I got to my lowest a week ago, and then of course it sprung up, and I laughed because I know I didn't gain 2 pounds. Like even yesterday, I got on the scale, it went up 2 pounds, and I laughed at it because I know what goes up must come down, and my
But we
weight,
also
of
talk
course,
about weight loss, like, weight loss is not a linear journey. It's going to
right,
go up and down. You're going to have moments of, being higher because, you talk about, being stressed or having a lot of things going on in your life
yeah,
that, you have to look at weight loss as for the rest of a weight loss journey for the rest of your life.
right. And like you, I didn't just do it for the next wedding or for whatever. I did it because I was sick and tired of being sick and tired and feeling like crap and feeling humiliated and embarrassed. And I made a promise to myself, like you did, that I was going to never, ever allow myself to get to that point where I felt so horrible about myself that I didn't want to go to parties. I didn't want to go buy myself clothes. I didn't want to be part of things and be part of a community. And I was losing out. And I wanted to live life, and I wanted to be a good role model for my daughter and for my students and for my family and for my friends. That it was going to be my promise to myself that it was going to be finally and forever. And again, like I've learned so much, that I can now look at the scale and not care, not worry. Also feeding my metabolism and feeding myself and knowing now, am I hungry? Am I full? Does the portions look too big? Do you think, am I going to finish that? And nurturing myself with really good food, on other diets. And I say people have to do what's best for them. And I don't like to knock other programs. I can say I've done almost every program that's out there. And, what I've learned is slow and steady wins the race, and that
I 100% agree with you.
Yeah. And a combination of, like you said, exercise and eating well. A lot of programs, they promote a lot of crap, a lot of stuff that, I think they want people to come back, you know what I mean? Or not fail per se. And I understand that, listen, is it perfect? No journey is going to be perfect. It's consistency over perfection. And, last night, for example, I wanted something. I wanted the Nutella in the cupboard. And so, you know what, with the peanut butter, and I took it and I ate it and I enjoyed every bite of it. And then when I was sleeping in the middle of the night, it went, oh, you know what? I don't feel so good. Like I can feel it sitting in my stomach. But what I've learned is not to berate myself, to learn that if I want something, have it, enjoy it, eat it, and then move on. But if I know, like, I know I want to get down another 10 pounds. I never, Jessica, believed that I could get to a certain number. And, people will say, oh, you look skinny. Why do you want to lose more weight? You look good enough, and da-da-da. And it's nobody's business but my own. And I know that they haven't seen me naked, but also, because I never believed before that I could do it. And now I don't care how long it takes. It's taken me a year on this new program to lose 20 pounds. And because life happens. And I think people want the quick fix. People think they go on a program that, because life right now with social media and with all these programs and with, with life is so fast paced, right? Like with Uber Eats, for example, like we want what we want now, right? But people aren't willing to put in the hard work. And that's why I feel like I'm strong. I put in the hard work, the dedication. I don't believe it's about motivation. I think it's more about, because I go to the gym now and I eat well, and I went to the store the other day and I bought jeans and they were small.
Amazing.
So
those are the
that's
wins.
what motivates me, right? Those are the wins.
Yes.
So I've learned a lot, just about sleep, how much sleep, like people I think, like I said to you before, about exercise and eating, which is very important, very, very important. And but also all the other things that go along with it, with dealing with your stress and how life can get in the way, and that, we can't be perfect, that, those small wins are so important. not
To not take
keep
you down
out
a little
of,
bit.
like
Yeah.
do your best, what you can
Don't
do
be so
slow and
hard on
often.
yourself.
Correct. Celebrate your wins, no matter
Yes.
how small. Like be proud of how far
Amazing.
you're going. Yeah.
So we have a segment on the 5 Foot Strong podcast that I like to share a healthy tip of the week. Would you like to share a healthy tip with our listeners?
Of course. Oh my God, I've got so many healthy tips that I would love to share with them. I think it's really important to give yourself grace and be kind to yourself. Don't compare yourself with other people because our journeys are our own, and showing up for yourself,
That's a
making
great one.
changes. Yeah, yeah, showing up for yourself. Every day is a new day. Um, if you think about you're going on a trip, right?
Yep.
And you want to get to your destination, wherever it is, you know what? Sometimes we get a flat tire. And this is what actually the program that I'm on, and this is something that Gina has said. Her name's Gina Livy. She said, "We'll all get to our destination, whether wherever it is, but there could be bumps in the road. There will be bumps in the road, but we don't go backwards and start from the beginning if we get a flat tire. You fix
Keep
the
going
flat
forward.
tire and you keep going forward." So what I say to people, and my biggest message, is to just keep moving forward. Celebrate the small wins, that your intentions, and make them small and achievable. Because when we're all excited when we start something new, right? And we're all motivated to get things done. But people have to know that you have to put in the hard work. It's not easy. I joined a gym like you,
Yep.
actually just almost a year ago. It took a lot. I was scared. I was self-conscious, but I did it. And one of the trainers, well, she became a trainer, offered to help me. And she set up a program for me, because I didn't know what the heck I was doing either. And, and so like I'm going to be celebrating almost a year now at the gym. And I love going. That's my go-to for my anxiety and my me time. And and I encourage everybody to just take that one step, and know that what's hard will make you stronger.
So you really are 5'4" strong. I will give you that. But before we finish off, is there anything else you'd like to share and let people know where they could follow you on social media?
Oh, thank you. You're so kind. So, years ago, because I have a Facebook group, WW, which stands for Wellness and Weight, not anything else. So WW Tips and Recipes by Risa. I have a YouTube channel, Risa Weiner, with, because what happened was I was making something one day and I posted it, and people said, "Oh, this is amazing. Thank you." And so, that gave me the confidence to start a YouTube channel, which is really my stress reliever when I come home after working with children on the autism spectrum. That's what I do now for the last 25 years with the Toronto District School Board. And I love to come up with different recipes. And, I never did an actual podcast, but I do have, when I used to go for walks in the morning before work, I would have my own little talks. And I'm on Instagram, WW Risa's Tips.
Well, I would like to finish off by thanking our guest, Risa Weiner, for sharing with us her weight loss journey. You are 5 foot strong.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one. Before we finish off today's episode, I want to thank you all for tuning in to the 5 Foot Strong podcast. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed today's episode, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you have any weight loss or lifestyle questions for me, please email the number 5 5footstrong@gmail.com, and hopefully we can address some of these questions in future episodes. Remember, whether you are 5 feet tall like myself or 5'11", we are all 5 foot strong. See you next week.
1,